independent of whether people understand this or not, that popular saying, the only moment is now, is more than just true and in operation all the time. Now, if you live in your memory and you're exclusively using your memories to make judgments, that's one thing. But when a person in this now moment is acting and indicating the same things that they have done from a past memory of yours that includes them, say a person who's known to steal, and you see them doing sneaky kind of things, you see them take from other people or something like that, that gives you a reason at that moment of now to feel that way about them. But let's say years have passed since things have happened, and you keep saying, well, I'm not doing this or associating with you or allowing things to happen with you around because of how you did this all these years ago. When if you haven't taken the time to see the present moment activities of the person and use your conscious senses to formulate an opinion at that moment about them and see that things aren't the way you thought they were, then you are the one causing the problem by living in your past memory. For an example, I'm just going to use my ex, who won't let my kids come over because she says they have anxiety attacks. When they came over, they would have great time and tell me that they want to come over more, but they get anxious. They didn't say this, but they get like scared to ask their mom or scared to say they want to come here because she makes them feel bad about it. That's exactly what my kids said when they were like 7 and 9, 8 and 10, because I only saw them for 11 years between that period. And then last few years when I saw them, they would have a great time and cry when they had to leave. And then she would say that they didn't want to come because they had anxiety attacks. Now, whether or not they did that, it's been a year. She brought them New Year's Day this year, 2022. It's November 17th. She brought them once this year, New Year's Day, and that's it. And we had a good time. Of course, the past comes up because when you haven't seen somebody for a year and you say, hey guys, whatever was going on, like that's past now. And you talk about new things that have developed over time without them around to be aware of, and it's different. We live in a world where anything different scares people or feels uncomfortable or anything like that. And when I see them a year later and they're both 50 pounds heavier, 60 pounds heavier, and they say stuff like they eat takeout and fast food and snacks all the time and, you know, all this kind of stuff, like, and I say, well, guys, I want to help you guys try to eat this way and try to do that. And, you know, those kind of things may be uncomfortable, but they weren't anxious. And I really never was like, you've got to do this because I say so. They would come over and they would eat. Like my mom and dad at that point even were eating like chicken nuggets and hot dogs and stuff like that. And that's what the kids wanted and that's what they would eat. And I wouldn't. I would eat salad or something of that nature. I wouldn't eat at all. I know that sounds like prissy because there's so many people like, look at this dude eating a salad. Fuck salad. I mean, it's good. It's actually delicious. The way I make stuff, you would love it. You wouldn't need to eat a dead animal. And when you really think about it, if you could use your brain the way you think you do, a dead thing that you put in your body will not help you. Because if you try to say this whole thing that plants are poison and animals are the way people are supposed to eat, you know, most of the animals we eat have a plant diet. So if plants were poison, that animal would die. And you can't say that those animals process the plants into stuff that we eat so we can use it for our bodies. Because that's not the case. Leave a piece of meat sit out and see what happens to it. It turns into stuff. Leave a piece of plant sit out, and what happens to it? It decomposes and evaporates, a lot of it. Sometimes it'll leave leaves, but then you can crush them up and they disappear. When you are a light body essence, you don't want a bunch of dead, moldy meat hanging on your bones, because you're not a body. The consciousness that operates your body right now will one day leave it. And it was always here. If you can't get that through your head, then you're just having problems understanding what you are. You're not a body. Because intelligence somehow came to in you. And you're there right now. And there's people out there calling themselves scientists and professionals and experts, and they're so confused. They're harming people. And what the big issue is, a lot of those people forgot about what spirituality truly is and what they truly are. So they're afraid to die. So they want to stay young and they want to stay live forever. But nobody really wants that. Especially when you have to go through great lengths to lie to others, convince others, poison others, to remain in control. One day, you'll see that that's not what you wanted to do in the first place. At all. Ever. And that's usually going to be when you die. Because those people don't have a connection to the spiritual side like they think they do. Like when they do their rituals and try to invoke demons, they bring those out of themselves because they're in all of us. Right now, we're all, every demon, every angel, every spirit. And I'm not just trying to belittle any of those things because they're real. You're just in this body right now, and you'll do it all. The issue is, if you can't understand that, you'll waste a lot of time holding on to your egoic things and harming yourselves and others, usually by the memories that you've had that you haven't been in the present moment to analyze and see that they were just all in your head.